All right, welcome back to Japanese. This is lesson 3 now. We've already learned the basic sentence structure in lesson 1, and we've already learned how to go over likes and dislikes and where things are, koso wa do, in lesson 2. Now it's time to learn the Desu Box. The Desu Box is going to help us with our present, past, positive, and negatives. So we're going to start off with this cute little box. This is going to be positive. That means the things on the left, 2 quadrants, are yes. This one, on the right 2 quadrants, are no. So this line that just goes sideways means no. This one has an extra line that goes up and down that means yes. We're going to be in the present tense here on the top. And we're going to go to the past. So we already know des. So that's present positive. Des. And that means is, am, or are. I am a teacher. Watashi wa sensei desu. She is a teacher. Kanojo wa sensei desu. Watashi tachi wa sensei desu. We are teachers. So they would all end with des. But what if I'm not a teacher? What if she's not a teacher? What if we're not teachers? We need to go to the present negative. So if you're not, it's going to be de wa arimasen. Now that's a mouthful, all right? But that's the polite, correct way to say am not, is not, are not. So it's the negative of these. I'm just going to put isn't for now, but it also is am not, right? So I am not a teacher. Watashi wa sensei de wa arimasen. She is not a teacher. Kanojo wa sensei de wa arimasen. We are not teachers. Watashi tachi wa sensei de wa arimasen. Now, what is used instead of this? The informal version is usually used, all right? And that's going to be janai. We're going to go over that more later, but just keep that in mind. When you're learning polite Japanese, it's best to learn the polite first because then you sound respectful, especially in a martial arts setting. You want to be very respectful in using polite speech. But you're not going to hear this very often. Most people just kind of fudge the informal and make it polite by chucking des at the end of it. So a lot of times you'll hear, Watashi wa sensei janai desu. I am not a teacher, which technically isn't grammatically correct, but it gets the point across in a much more smooth way than the whole de wa arimasen. It's a lot of syllables there. All right, so let's go to the past now. So maybe I was a teacher. Watashi wa sensei deshita. So, I was, we were, okay? That's how that works. Today was boring. 今日は退屈でした. Okay, today is not boring. We go back to the present. It's not, isn't, and we'd say 今日は退屈ではありません. It is boring. 今日は退屈です. Was, でした. So these are both positive. It is, it was. Okay? Now the last one, we combine these two for a real mouthful. ではありませんでした. So now it's just basic math. The negative present plus the past equals the negative past. So this would be wasn't, weren't, etc. Okay? So we weren't teachers. Watashi tachi wa sensei de wa arimasen deshita. Today wasn't boring. 今日は退屈ではありませんでした. Now, again, these two are mouthfuls. So even though they are grammatically correct, they are not used very often. So what is used, you want to know? The informal versions. So the informal versions are janai and janakatta. Now remember when we see that double consonant, It's like you take a small pause before it. So ja, na, ka, slight pause, ta. Janakatta, janakatta. So I wasn't a teacher. Watashi wa sensei janakatta. That's not polite, it's not formal. So a lot of times they'll just slap des at the end of these, which doesn't exactly make sense, but it works. All right. And there's a reason why it kind of works, and that again, that's a lesson for another day. But just understand that this is how you get into the negatives and the past tense, since all you've learned so far is just classic des. So now with your Tongo list 1, Tongo list 2, Tongo list 3, your first 3 vocabulary lessons that are included here, you can start practicing and saying things are, aren't, were, weren't. So keep practicing. All right, let's go over our hiragana for the week. All right, so we've learned a, I, U, E, O, kaki, kuke, ko, and gagi, guge, go. Next, we're going to learn the S series, all right? So we're going through the S series, starting with sa. Sa, shi, su, se, so. So sa is going to be very similar to ki. Ki look like this, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's ki, this is sa. So all you have to do to turn ki into sa is you get rid of one of these lines, maybe shrink it down a little bit, and it becomes sa. All right, so 1, 2, 3. You'll see it sometimes like this, but that's not how you'll write it, okay? You'll write it without this kind of ghost line, just like you did on the ki. So that's sa. Shi is real simple. S-H-I, it's basically an upside down candy cane, okay? So that's shi. Sa, shi, su. Su is next. Su is a line, comes down with a little circle into a Q. Not a Q, but a curly Q kind of thing. All right, so we're here. Be careful not to go like this. That looks bad. So it's almost like you just went like this and then you added a circle. But that's not what you're gonna do. But it'll look more like that than that first bad example. So 1, 2, that's su. Sa, shi, su. Next is se. For se, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. And that's se. Sa, shi, su, se. And so, 1, 2. And that's so. So make sure that these are on the same line. So don't want to go above the line like that. All right, now, just like last week, we can add 10-10s to these, those little quote marking looking things. So when I add 10-10s, sa becomes za. When I add 10-10s to shi, it becomes G. There's no Z, Z-I, so it becomes G. Za, G, and then here we have 10-10s makes it Zu, Ze, and Zo. Sa, shi, su, se, so, za, ji, zu, ze, zo. Again, this program is meant to teach you fluency, which includes being able to read and write. So take time this week and practice writing these. Graph paper is great, or if you can print off the Hiragana worksheet 3 that is accompanied with this lesson and just fill in those boxes. Each time you write in the box, make sure you're saying it out loud. Ideally, you'd have some feedback, all right? So if you can get some feedback from someone on how your writing looks that knows Japanese, or again, someone to talk to, that's great as well. So try to make some friends, because unfortunately I can't be there to check everyone's work and do this with everyone, but I did want to give you some good resources to practice and learn as much as you can during this time period when we have the opportunity to learn foreign languages or to develop new skills. So that's it for today. Arigatou gozaimashita. Mata raishu.